by V4 News, Global TV V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News गांव से, संवाद सारोकार न्यूज, भारत पोस्ट न्यूज, कारू न्यूज, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today's topic is not only current, but bit controversial also. The topic is, are teachers competent in India? But before I will go on my main topic, I would like to inform you that today's world is observing International Day for Tolerance. In 1996, the UN General Assembly adopted a resolution proclaiming 16 November as International Day for Tolerance. Tolerance is respect, acceptance, and appreciation of the rich diversity of our world's culture, our forms of expression, and ways of being human. This was the adoption of a Declaration of Principles on Tolerance by UNESCO's member states on 16 November 1995. Among other things, the declaration affirms that tolerance is neither indulgence nor indifference. It is respect and appreciation of the rich variety of our world's cultures, our forms of expression, and ways of being human. Tolerance recognizes the universal human rights and fundamental freedoms of others. People are naturally diverse. Only tolerance can ensure the survival of mixed communities in every region of the globe. In 1995, to mark the United Nations Years for Tolerance and the 125th anniversary of the birth of Mahatma Gandhi, UNESCO created a prize for the promotion of tolerance and non-violence. The UNESCO Madanjit Singh Prize for the promotion of tolerance and non-violence rewards significant activities in the scientific, artistic, cultural, or communication fields aimed at the promotion of a spirit of tolerance and non-violence. The creation of the prize has been inspired by the ideals of UNESCO Constitution that proclaims that peace, if it is not to fail, must be founded on the intellectual and moral solidity of mankind. The prize is awarded every 2 years on the International Day for Tolerance, that is 16th November. The prize may be awarded to institutions, organizations, or persons who have contributed in a particularly meritoriously and effective manner to tolerance and non-violence. Media conference with Lal Goel hopes that everyone will contribute to tolerance and non-violence, so we can live peacefully. Today is also a very special day because India is celebrating National Press Day. National Press Day is celebrated every year on November 16th to commemorate the establishment of the Press Council of India, which was formed in 1966. National Press Day is the symbol of a free as well as the responsible press in India, as Press Council of India acts as a moral watchdog for media. India is a free country and freedom of speech and expression is enshrined in the Constitution. However, what goes on paper does not always happen on the grounds. In just over 6 years, India's place in the Reporters Without Borders Press Freedom Index come down from 136th in 2015 to 142nd in 2021. Media conference with Lal Goel appeals to Press Council of India to act impartially so that press will become more free and responsible. Now coming to the main topic, are teachers competent in India? गुरु गोविंद दो खड़े काके लागू पाए बलिहारी गुरु आपने गोविंद दियो बताए. If there were no teachers, all other professions would not exist. A teacher is a person who helps students to acquire knowledge, competence, or virtue. The history of teaching can be traced to Confucius 561 BC, who was the first famous private teacher. Many ancient Greek hired private teachers to educate their children. In the Middle Ages, learning institutions such as Cambridge University were founded and teacher training became required. In ancient India, the most common form of education was Gurukul, based on the Guru Shishya tradition, teacher-disciple tradition, which involved the disciple and the Guru living in the same or a nearby residence. This Gurukulam was supported by public donation and the Guru would not accept any fees from the Shishya. This organized system stayed the most prominent form of education in the Indian subcontinent until the British invasion. Takshila was the earliest recorded center of higher learning in India from possibly 8th century BCE. Nalanda University in Eastern India was the oldest university system of education in the world in modern sense of university. Chanakya was among the most famous teachers of that era. A teacher's role may vary among cultures. Teachers may provide instructions in literacy and numeracy, craftsmanship, or vocational training, the arts, religion, civics, community roles, or life skills. In India, we have millions of qualified teachers without jobs, and ironically, we also have the shortage of well-trained and qualified quality teachers. All qualified teachers are not quality teachers. There are many teachers who are professionally qualified, but they are not quality teachers because they lack necessary knowledge and skills required to be competent in their field. Various studies have shown that teachers who have not been trained to teach English and those who lack English language skills teach the language in many schools, and as a result, even after learning English for over 10 years, many students are not able to use the language for communication purpose. We have qualified teachers, but do we have quality teachers? If the answer is no, then we need to question the quality of teacher education or training. It plays a vital role in producing good teachers. Teachers with the right attitude, sound knowledge, and professional skills can perform their functions in the classroom and inspire young minds effectively. Teacher educators need to play a very creative role in the formation of teacher training. Are teacher training institutions and teacher education colleges committed to the preparation of good teachers? Quality teacher educators can alone inspire teacher trainees and mold them into quality teachers. Do institutions dedicated to teacher preparation program have such quality teacher educators? Both pre-service and in-service training are equally important for teachers to remain relevant in their profession. Unfortunately, professional development is not given importance by many school authorities. If government are determined to achieve the right to education, they must be committed to the cause of producing quality teachers. Investing in the preparation and formation of teachers and later in their professional development is essential. The teacher is a dynamic force of the school. A school without a teacher is like a body without the soul, a skeleton without blood and flesh, a shadow without substance. There is no greater need for cause of education today than the need for strongly manly men and motherly women as teacher for the young. Being a teacher is being in one scary position. Those who educate the children are more to be honored than they who have produced them, as they only gave them life, but teachers teach them the art of living well. Teachers show right path to students and also prepares a human for the further development of the nation. So no doubt it is the noble than any other profession. Let's talk about why teaching is not well paid profession in India. It's difficult to have a decent lifestyle in a teaching job, and hence some teachers need to rely on tuition money to support their family. This is not just any code, but plight of several teachers in India. It is sad to associate plight with people who impart knowledge and educate the new generation, but this is truly an irony. Now, to discuss this very, very important and very serious topic today, are teachers competent in India? We have three very competent, very well qualified, well experienced, those who are authority in this topic, those who are themselves are or were educators present with us. And I would like to invite my first panelist guest, and she is Dr. Sundari Gandhi. Dr. Sundari was the Vice Principal and Head of the Department of Psychology and Mass Media at Maharishi Dayanand College, Mumbai. Dr. Sundari has been very successful as a therapist, teacher, and instructor for the past 25 years. She is a member of the Board of Examiners for PhDs at the Chennai University. She has completed her work on her DLit on extent of paraphilics in the gay community, a cross-cultural comparison. Dr. Sundari has been regularly invited as a resource person by corporate sectors, colleges, universities, RBI associations, etc. She has conducted several workshops on stress management, personality development, Reiki, assertive training, and laughter therapy. Child psychology workshop, Little Adult for pediatricians all over the country was successfully completed by Dr. Sundari from year 2007 to 2010. From 2012 to 2017, she was the director for a set of training workshops for pediatricians titled Cracking the Kids Code, which was held in 35 centers across India. She was the director of Indus Viva Early Learning Center for the Specially Able at Bengaluru. From the center, she actively counsels more than 60 clients all over the world. She is a Reiki Grandmaster and has been teaching Reiki for 25 years. She is also an expert in EMDR, a therapy for PTSD. She is a practicing yoga master. She has undertaken a course in art of living. Dr. Sundari has keen interest in research and published several research papers in reputed national and international journals. Welcome, Dr. Sundari Gandhi, on our show. Dr. Sundari Gandhi, you being so involved in stress management, personality development, and being a teacher, a professor yourself, you have being in the administration side also. So you have seen both the sides. You taught the students as well as you have seen the administration of the or in the management of a college. Today we are discussing, I'm sorry, about the competency of teachers. Although, to be very frank, when I send my flyers, I get very, I can say, bricks on my face, and they says, why you have asked, why you have put this topic today, and why the title is competent. I have to say, yes, I am sorry to keep this title, but we have to face the reality. The media role is to show the mirror. It is up to you in which way you will take it, whether you will take it in a right way or wrong way. But when I have done the research, I found that it is not the fault of the teacher. It is the fault of we, the civil society, the government, and the management. So today we will discuss about, are teachers competent in India? And I would like to invite my first panelist guest, and Dr. Sundari Gandhi, please.
Thank you, Mr. Goel. Being a teacher myself, it's a very interesting topic because this is something we really have to think about and question and brainstorm about. The other two panelists are also in some way teachers or related to kids. Let me start by saying India is a great country, as Mr. Goel said. We have great university. I had a chance to go to Nalanda University a few years ago, and I was amazed. Oldest university in the world, and such an amazing university. We have great teachers in India and all over the world. See, when I was a student, I looked up to my teachers. That is 50 years ago in school or in college. I still very fondly remember many of my teachers who have mentored me, shaped me, and maybe what I am today. I owe it fully to my teachers. I'll come to that later. Then, as a teacher myself, I did question myself continuously. I taught for 25 years at a college. So I used to question myself every now and then, every day, in fact. Am I teaching? Because teaching is an art. I'm sure all of you will agree on that. How to teach, what to teach, when to teach, where to teach. These are all topics of educational psychology. So I used to question myself, am I doing the right thing? The crowd may be the same, the kids may be the same, but they all have different factors. So that was a question I always asked. Now, why is it as teachers, as academicians, as parents, or as humans, are we so concerned about this question, are teachers competent? In Tamil, we have a saying, there are 4 things in this world which help others to move on, elevate, but it stays in the same place. Who are these? A boat, It helps you to travel, but it stays there. A ladder helps you to climb, but it stays there. Teachers, we allow batches and batches and thousands of students to move on, but we stay there. And there is a fruit called citron. I don't know whether you've heard of it. It helps to digest the food, but it never gets digested. It remains the same. So teaching is such a noble profession. And if we all believe that we are teachers and learners, why does this question of competency arise? Let me look at it in two ways. As an academician, I looked at, like whenever I conducted an interview, my question was, does this person have the knowledge or the skill set? How will I measure the knowledge? Do they have their degrees? Degree hai to, wo degree mein kitna, kaun sa percentage hai, first class hai. I know first class is better than second class and so on. Skill set. What are the skills a teacher should have? One, a teacher is like a seller. Let us accept it. All of us are selling in a noble way our subject knowledge to our consumers. Who are the consumers? Our students. There's so many stakeholders. Their parents, their friends, etc., etc. Now, whatever we sell must be attractive now for our consumers to grab it. It's like one of the best products, which we all go crazy, we go gaga, we go running to buy them, and they are over and sold out in a jiffy. Can teachers be like that? I mean, not selling out. What I mean is, can we be extremely good teachers that our subject is sold out first? Meaning, students demand for our subject, one. And second, we are a good seller. Seller in the sense we are able to teach our subject so well that that student may be a tiny tot from LKG, UKG, or somebody who's doing their PhD. They should be able to enjoy the subject, take the concepts from us, think beyond the classroom. Are we doing that? So there you need to know how to teach, when to teach, where to teach. Many people, they are so bland. That is where the question of competency comes. That's one major area, as Mr. Goel said. I have seen teachers, when I was teaching, my class would be full. There would be students running down from side. I was an arts teacher, but psychology was so popular, there would be students coming from science or commerce streams to come and sit and listen to my lecture. While the neighboring classroom, if the teacher is not competent, students will be running out. That teacher will come and ask me, what do you do? Aap chamatkari karte hai kya? Students come running into your class. It is an art. Let us remember that once you decide to be a teacher, it's a big responsibility. It's not like a 9-to-5 job. You sit in the front of a computer, work and finish it. We are dealing with human beings. So competency comes in. Your skill set should be extremely good. You may have extremely good knowledge, but if you don't have the skill set, then you're a poor teacher. My students would always tell me, ma'am, how is it you understand? There'll be 100 students in the class. How is it you understand our feelings so well? What do we do normally? As I'm sure the other two speakers also fully agree with me, Dr. Jolly and Archana. Because when you are in a classroom, you are observing your students as you teach your subject. Syllabus completion is important. I'm not saying no, but do it very interestingly. Use all audiovisual aids. I used to do that. Make them involved, but at the same time, look out for those non-verbal communications. Those kids who come to you, those children who come to you, have a keen number of problems. There may be a fight at home. They may be coming from a pathological family, or there could be a traffic jam, or while traveling, they could have thousands of problems. You have to be sensitive to it. Or a simple thing like the child may be having a headache. Or one major problem I found in MD college, I taught in Maharishi Dhyanand College, was my students were all first generation learners. English was it would go up their head. They would be scared. So very early, I was good at marketing, I should say, although I'm not an MBA. I realized this was one of the things which I should catch to make them motivate. So I started a program called Psycho Buddies, where I used to have motivational buddies to motivate the kids. I used to have Santa buddies. A Santa Claus would send a bag with little gifts. It need not be expensive. Wherever your children have, your kids have blocks. I used to teach a paper called Statistics. For my art students, statistics was a big go. What do you say? Oh, it just goes over our head. So what we used to do, step by step, break up the topic into pieces, repeat it, and give gifts. The gift would be as small as a sharpener. But when you twine it with Santa Claus, oh, they feel good about it. And believe it or not, all my kids my results used to be something like 95%. Kids would come in with 3 mark sheets. That was our college. And I found another major problem with them was they were nutritionally deficient. No food. They all came from ordinary below the line families. Corporation workers, BMC workers, auto drivers, security, and so many kind of children were coming. So what did I do? I started a program called Nutritional Buddies. With botany department I tied up. I realized food is an important aspect for your memory and concentration. So weekly once, we used to supply breakfast, nutritious breakfast, with a nutraceutical lecture. So this attracted kids, They came, we used to tell them, okay, ragi is good for this. We used to give them things which is made out of ragi, and they would listen to a lecture. So my request is, teachers may be qualified. They may have their BEds, they may have their MEds or whatever it is, doctorates, but do they have the skills? Then they may become very good, competent teacher, if the skill set is there. Because even we can't hear to boring lectures for more than 10 minutes. Can we? Even 5 minutes. Then you run away from your class. And there are some teachers, there are 2 other aspects, in industrial psychology, we talk about KSAO. What are they? Knowledge, skill set, okay, attitude, and other aspects. Knowledge, I'm not emphasizing much. If Indian teachers have to be competent, they have to work on their skill set, how to talk. What should be your pitch? What should be your tone? Not scream or just mumble. Both are not going to be effective for the kids. Make it interesting, that 48 minutes. Yes, then involve your kids. Attitude, what is this attitude? Many teachers come with this attitude. Oh, mujhe aur kuch job nahi mila, main ye lu. Arey, do it with passion. We tell our kids, whatever you study, do it with passion. Are we doing it with passion? That 48 minutes you are in the class with whatever topic you're playing. It's like Sachin Tendulkar on the field. You have to be like that, fully involved, passionate. Yes, then see what your kids do. And have a positive attitude for them. They come with hundreds of problems. You have to be a mentor, a parent, a friend, and what not. You can say, I'm a teacher, I come here, finish my lectures, I walk away. No, be a human being to them. Because it's so, I can tell you in my experience, there have been students who have been drug addicts, who have been drug peddlers, who came from very humble backgrounds. They changed in the 3 years. They became a graduate. I've seen parents coming and crying to me. It's the first child in our family who's a graduate. And that gives the total satisfaction. Your attitude should be right. If you have to be a competent teacher, have the right attitude. Otherwise, don't come for teaching. Don't think that it is a time pass job. Mujhe UGC ka kaam mila hai, mujhe pagar milega acha. I get a very good salary. I get holidays. No, you have to be a good evaluator. You have to be a good teacher. You have to be a good learner. I have learned a lot from my students. Till today, I'm learning. I'm actually the director of a special center in Bangalore. We have about 20 children coming to our center, all special, but we learn so much. So be an active learner, a listener. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't just watch some body language and say, oh, this child doesn't respect me, I'm going to throw her out of. You have to give these messages very non-verbally, very clear. Some of my other colleagues would say, madam, you give too much lenience to your students. We are austere teachers. We believe strict rule. People should be afraid of us. My thought was different. If a child comes into class with fear, he cannot learn. So I was a friend to them, but I used to make it very clear. I'm starting my lecture now. They all knew. If you want to walk out, go out. I respect you. I give you your attendance, you go. But no nonsense when I'm teaching. I want that interaction. Another thing I did was I was called the chocolate teacher. Why was this? From the beginning of my teaching career, I decided to motivate these children. I need to give something. So I used to tell them, ask 5 questions related to the topic that I am teaching. Not any Tom, Dick, and Harry question. I'll give you a chocolate. I used to carry chocolates to class. And they feel good. Oh, I'm recognized. So interest comes. They would do a lot of research, come out with different topics for me. So you have to be a mentor, not just a teacher, just a speaker. And last but the least, to be a competent teacher, your other capacities are important. O stands for other qualities, other capacities. What is that? My question to the other teachers out here is, does our job end moment the lecture is over? You enter into the college at, say, 7:15. You finish your lectures by 12. After that, our job is over. You walk out. No. There have been, because of my subject, there have been students who would come even outside the gate and meet me and talk to me. They'll say, ma'am, we are having this problem. Please help. They used to call me Psycho Mama. Psycho Mama. I was a mom for all of them. So, may it be a male teacher or a female teacher, every one of us have to be a mentor, a therapist. You can't be a therapist. You can be at least a counselor for your children, for the students. If you're listening here, don't be in a hurry all that time. And there is nothing wrong in saying sorry. See, I made a mistake once. Final year, internal marks for one child in one paper, 20 marks she was present, but I had marked her as absent. And she was shown failed because of that. And the kid came to me, the girl came to me and she said, ma'am, I checked with the exam room. I was present, but you have marked me as absent. I immediately took it personally. I took the papers. I went to the university, spoke to the people there. I said, I'm sorry. Whatever I have to pay for this mistake of mine, I'm ready to pay. Proved it. And then she was passed. So don't ever have the ego. I'm a teacher. I've got knowledge. I know everything. We can also make mistakes. Be a friend. Be a total loving, caring mother or father to these students. That's what they want from you. Then you'll be an extremely competent teacher. Your students will not forget you even after you. That's what has happened to me till today. My students from 92 are still in touch. Be a motivator. Make them good leaders. Don't simply teach your subject and come out. Connect it to leadership and how to be a good citizen, how to be a good human. Yes, you will say psychology में बहुत topics है, हमारे में topics नहीं है, but everyone can find a way. I used to teach a topic called child development, where I used to teach a topic called pregnancy. I had boys and girls in the class. Many of my boy students who are parents today call me and tell me, ma'am, what have you taught us has helped us in bringing our children now. Help to manage or help our wives when they were pregnant. Why can't we do such? That's all I'm asking. If you want to be a competent teacher, please take your subject outside the classroom, not just within the 4 walls. No, you'll be a failure if you do that. I think I've made my point, Mr. Goel. Thank you. Thank you for this.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sundari Gandhi, who was called by the students psycho mom. But what points she has made, very, very important point. She said teaching is an art. And secondly, she says that if a teacher is competent, he or she has to see that he or she act as a mentor, a friend, mom and dad, and all those things which a child requires. Give the child a patience hearing, solve his or her problems, and no fear, but you have to be firm. Whatsoever you want to get done, or you have to teach them politely but firmly, and then only the student will give you the respect and they will attend your classes. She says the knowledge is not the only criteria. Knowledge many have, but the main thing is how to teach, what to teach, where to teach, when to teach, as well as the skills. And for that, one has to know the art of teaching, which is very important. And Dr. Sundari gave so many examples of her, and she says the teacher has to be very humble and very down to earth. He or she should not hesitate to say sorry in case if they commit any mistake. So according to Dr. Sundari Gandhi, yes, we have in India, we have teachers, very competent teachers from not from now, from the very beginning. But yes, we require to train them properly and teach them how to teach the students. Thank you very much, Dr. Sundari Gandhi, for giving very, very knowledgeable. Today, I am so much enlightened. I am repenting that why I was not your student. I should have joined your classes and learned so many things. Thank you very much. I'm sure our viewers are on, and not only the students, but even the teachers who are watching our show are going to be enlightened today with the experts, those who are giving their views now. Thank you very much, Dr. Sundari Gandhi. Now, I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and she is Professor Dr. Jolie Jose. Professor Dr. Jolie Jose is an associate. No, sorry, I think now she has changed her designation. Earlier she was. Now she is, I will just tell you her designation, which I got it in the night only. She is now the Assistant Director Research, MET School of Communication, MET University, Noida. First of all, congratulations to Dr. Jolie Jose. Now she is in the research, which is very, very much required, especially in this environment. She has a blending career experience of teaching, research, and grassroots work with communities. She worked in reputed educational institutions like Xavier University, Bhubaneswar, Sri Padmavati Women University, Tirupati, and Blue Mount Public School, Kerala, before joining MET University. She worked in Kerala in Tamil Nadu for 12 years with NGO in rural development sector with people's movement activities with a special reference to women, children, youth, and farmers, SHGS, etc. She had completed her doctoral studies in 2011 on new media and children, impact of adult content on children from the Department of Communication and Journalism, Sri Padmavati Women's University, Tirupati. Beside the development project, she has worked in research projects on children, such as social networking sites, online gaming, and children, live research project on adult intervention and integrated development of children as principal investigator. She has authored 2 books, Cyber Exploration of and the Reality, with special reference on the Indian reality. Welcome, Professor Dr. Jolie Jose. Professor Jose, you have heard what Dr. Sundari Gandhi mentioned. Now, you being yourself a professor, a researcher, a motivator, and you worked with lots of NGOs, especially those for the empowerment of women and children. And in India, we found a very, very tough time when we see the children from the very humble or families, poor families. And you have worked with them. And you are now, and you have also taught in many good, high reputed institution. And right now you are associated with a very, very high reputed university in North India, that is MET University. Definitely, we would like to know your views on our teachers competent in India. Professor Dr. Jolie Jose, please.
Thank you for generating such a challenging platform today. As you mentioned earlier, I question myself, am I an eligible teacher every day? Am I doing justice to my students every day? Is our education system right? This has been my concern every time when I start to work with the children from 1991. So we used to try to pick up students who are not going to school. Why are they not going to school? I worked with the children in the slum area, in remote villages. And a student and parents to go to school, there are multiple elements. One of the key elements is school itself, the school situation, the whole of the situation in the school, the physical settings, more than the physical settings, that this position of the teachers, one, the attitude of the parents. And later, I also get into intervene with where there are good physical settings, and there are well-trained teachers, and also educated parents who want to send their children to school. Considering education in school level, there were gaps over there. What are we learning? What are we teaching the students? We asked them. And the parents had a concern, our children we sent to school, what they look at is the mark they score. And children with a lot of frustrated faces that we don't want to learn, and we are depressed. That is a new term we hear from the children. So we are depressed. And college students, a lot of work. And when we take the media, and a lot of work they have to do it. So we are depressed because a lot of homework is there. School children, we are depressed. What are you depressed about? We have homework. When you go home, we have to go to tuition. And when do we play? I don't have time to spend with my friends, my siblings. Every time the mother say, teach, learn. And if you are, your parent is a teacher, no child should have their parent as a teacher. One of the child was telling, because every time they say, teach, learn, sit steady. This is frustration. And I myself would like to position myself as a conducting a lot of sessions for children and parents and communities to change teaching to learners. So child be a learner, and teacher be a handholder in learning system. And we used to, our focus as a team was to bridge that gap, to disposition, creating a disposition for a child to be a learner. And teachers, there are 3 types of teachers, and many points have been brought here by maybe a previous speaker. Like teacher who just want to complete the portion and go. There is a huge pressure on the teachers. There's a huge syllabus, a lot of homework. You correct it, you prepare it and deliver it, and then mark it, and additional responsibilities into administration, the secretary work, and assignment correction, and grading, and extracurricular activities like sports, all the events teachers are part of it. That is one. You finish the lesson and then you go. And there are teachers who wanted to get a good record from the students. I really feel that just please the students whichever way you can, so that you get, especially in the private sector, I have seen, and so that you get a good record, you get a good pleasing grade by the management. Therefore, the teachers, I really feel sorry to say that manipulation is happening with the students' mark, and students themselves look at them as not a role model. Later, you can manipulate the value system which has been communicated. It's so sad to see that in school system, in the college system, in all that you see that. If you take the research, and there is no time to go much into that, you can see that it's happening. That is one side. At the same time, the third category of teacher, they are the mentors. I would say they are not just handholders, like some of this. My students say that you help to spread our wings and fly. Spread our wings and fly, not just handholding and make them dependent, but truly motivating, engaging. That is the ideally when I look at the skills that the teacher need to have. I also look at the challenges to place a teacher in a disposition to be a mentor in a big classroom. And I feel often to attend 30 students in my class, 40 students in my class, and 50 students in my class. And I always look for strategies how to give a unique attention to the students which they really require. So therefore, a teacher, we cannot be a teacher in the classroom, but we are 24 hours teacher. we get a call late night. I have a problem, a personal problem. I'm not able to sleep. There was a student in my previous batch. She is into depression. She get tension, the assignment, she goes to hospital. And why do we take such students? Don't we also be available for such students as teachers? The amount of time spent with that particular student, I still remember, that is a huge role. She is doing wonderful in one of the newspapers now. She used to tell me, ma'am, you supported me, and all the class, we should discuss in the class, please help such a student. She has missed the class, and the whole class was mentoring. So these kinds of, I'm sure most of the teachers and all the teachers will have this beautiful experience of accompanying the students. And we have to be stern. Teachers need to be stern. We are friendly, but they will look at you as you are a very strict teacher. So I get some remark here. Jolie ma'am is in the research, and the things are going to be good. She's not easily let us submit our assignments, are going to be more stricter. Some students would come and say that, okay, because of the deadline in the media, used to repeat the deadline in the class, ma'am, we feel comfortable when we are in the media. So we have that straightening line which has been drawn, and the impact which is created on students building the value systems, that has a huge impact. It is a real challenge. So I acknowledge my previous dean, who is a priest. He used to say that every day, every class, you need to speak about human values. This is the best chance a teacher we can communicate the human values to the systems. It's not only the subject you teach. You need to have, of course, as Professor Sundari said, subject knowledge, skill, it values. But in teaching competency, what carried by the students is, again, to make, how have we accompanied them to be a good human being, to build a nation. Who speaks about a nation these days in the class? What is our responsibility to the country? It's a challenge I consciously generate a context to speak about whatever you do. It is to build the nation. It is your responsibility. It is my responsibility. We need to do it together. It's a huge challenge to the teachers. And today, when we look at it, technology has changed. And where the teachers are, I'm asking, where am I? Though I attended a lot of courses, a lot of online training and additional training given by the university, and I look at where the children are engaged in, where they will be engaged in, there is a gap. And I look at the Indian teachers, and I look at myself also, I see that how can I engage the students and guide the students to be competent enough in a very highly knowledge-based and value-based way, and taking them to be a role model for the coming generation. It's a huge responsibility. I feel silent. I feel wonderstruck. But I tell myself, this is the role given to me. Whichever knowledge which is there, I will be acquiring and imparting to them. The rest, I keep it open. That is one area. And another challenge for the competency, when we look at the teachers, which I learned when I start with work with the children, we teach them, I put it in quote, the lessons by hearting, the 3 R's basically, read, write, recall, and reproduce, and all that. From there to the next level, there is a lot of blockages. From this, the mark sheet is being produced, and after which the application of the knowledge and the creativity which we need to engage the students, it is a challenge in the learning system. I've traveled in the Northeast, I found there are schools just like a shed, and teachers are not there. Teachers are appointed, but somebody else is being appointed for a very menial salary. That time it was 2,000, 3,000 rupees. Somebody would come and teach, even 500 rupees, somebody would come and teach and go. Whereas this teacher is appointed and they are elsewhere. and what would happen to the whole education system. And I know our team has trained the children. There used to be around 800 to 1,000 children. I'm talking about some 15 years back thing. Teachers, students, children going to government school, they don't know to read. Basic mathematics learning they didn't have. I'm talking about the situation in India, and later in interior in Kerala, 20 years back, maybe 10, 15 years back in interior Tamil Nadu, they didn't know to read. They didn't know to write. The basic calculations, they didn't know. And this parallel systems had to be created to enhance their learning. So what is happening to the teachers? The teachers are not learned. If the teachers are not being trained, they are all B.Ed or a TTC completed teachers. So what is happening in that system? The other day I was talking in this context, my niece was supposed to go to school, and her mother was telling me she has to go to tuition. She has to go to school. Why they have to go to tuition, I asked. Morning they go, evening they go to tuition. What is the story happening in the government systems, even in the private schools? Even if they're sent to school, another parallel complete learning system, it has been created in the society that to learn, the child to be learning, there has to be a parallel tuition. Is it the competency of the teachers? Is there a marketing that is where that we have to be really radically questioning what is the marketing that has been going on? All of the coaching centers, the tuition centers, is it just for the money generation or adjustment with the teacher and the school? And if the private institution and many institutions train teachers can teach the children, why not our government system cannot? At this point, I acknowledge the Delhi Prime Minister Kejriwal, who has really renewed the government system. You must have come across that there is a big queue to go to the government schools in Delhi right now. So that is possible to make the teachers competent in every way. And infrastructure will be generated by the administrative system. I'm sure if the teachers are dedicated, definitely the system will fall into line. It's most of the things are in the hands of the teachers. Focus on the teachers. I'm back to the point again. Completing the syllabus, going beyond the multiple intelligence screening. We look at some of the children's learning, the numeric learning, the lessons learned, the particular one. What about the other learning? How are we, the teachers, focusing, learning analytics, the numerics, the linguistic reasoning, numeric reasoning, kinesthetic reasoning, musical reasoning, or intelligent, interpersonal intelligent, intrapersonal intelligent, or sensing, or people's feeling motivation intelligent, or natural intelligent, acknowledging all that. I think all these, fostering all these intelligences, it's not addressed at all with the students. So the experimental study which I did, our team did with the students, which revealed that when we start to focus on this 7 multiple intelligence screening, naturally the learning in the school or the formal system start to grow. So that was something very, very beautiful thing that has to happen. So why our teachers are not really focusing on developing the holistic element of a child, than just focusing on the way our teachers training or the B.Ed training which is there, than the be a mentor. To be a mentor, when we speak about the term mentor, the other elements of the 7 intelligence, there are many other ways of focusing, like Gartner's focus on 7 intelligence. I do believe that there are systems to focus on improving the approaches of learning. there are multiple experiments happening in our country, like the homeschooling, which they are focus on than the teachers focus on the learners side. They make a context for the children to learn and handhold or guide the child to learn in the universities. Guide the students to learn. It's really a challenge. And again, using a lot of the modern technologies like, um, data gathered forms of learning and persons, social environment use, access and focusing and learning personalized. It's a huge challenge. So many children are sitting in the personalized learning. It is being focused, but how much of focus you can give and emphasis we can give, it is really a challenge to me myself. And assessing a person to be happy at the end of the day, it's again a challenge for for the teachers. So these are, I think, the quality of teaching actually to be looked at the end of the day. Are we generating great learners? Are we truly mentors? Are we opening our young generation to the real world reality? With this, there is a lot of science and technology and research oriented. That means a lot of minute learning to be happening. And also, at the end of the day, are they sensitive to build the society, to care for the social system, the ecology, the elderly, the sick, and the neglected and the isolated? Is that then we can say, okay, we are great teachers. Till then, to me, it's a question. When I see my student is getting diverted into, I see my student frustrated, I ask myself, I feel that something has gone wrong from my side too. Definitely, I acknowledge that it always. So with that thought, I place this huge topic as an open one. I don't have anything specific to conclude, but I have only questions when I think of, are there competent and quality teachers? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Jolie Jose. And she concluded by posing a question, are they competent teachers or not? But I would just highlight two things, what she has said, although she has mentioned many things and which are very, very enlightening. First thing she says, why the child is going to a coaching class. And that is a very, very burning question nowadays, because everyone is asking the same question. All the parents feel, and it has become a trend now that if the child is not going to a tuition, it means he's not a good child, or he's not a good learner, or whatnot. And second, she mentioned about the Delhi government, and she mentioned the name of the Chief Minister of Delhi, Mr. Kejriwal. She says how now the time he has changed, how the college schools he has changed, that the children wants to go there. So it means it all depends. The role of the government is very important to see that the child will get more interest to go to the schools. And then definitely the role of teachers, how they teach with competency, so that the results which were there, yes, it has come in the media, that how come the results of Delhi schools, the government schools, are better than the private schools. It means that there is no dearth of competency in the teachers. It is the role of the management or the government which is underlined or putting pressure on the competency of a teacher. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Jolie Jose. Definitely, when I will come, I will ask few questions to you. Now, I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and she is Miss Archana Kumar. Miss Archana Kumar is a recipient of National Merit Scholarship, is a multifaceted, dynamic academician for over 2 decades, 23 years, imparting holistic education in maths and science at TM Hinduja National Sarvodaya High School and Junior College, Mumbai. Beside being a national badminton player, she is also an Iron Lady who is a social entrepreneur, enthusiast, an influencer, a motivator, a runner, fitness enthusiast, and a certified Sar Yoga Yogini. She won Best Teachers Award 2021 on the occasion of Teachers Day by TOM and Global TV Network. Yes, I remember. I was the chief guest on that program. Second, she won the Achievers Award for outstanding performance in badminton at the National Badminton Championship as winner, as well as being an empowered WMBL star on the occasion of Women's Day 2020. She won Inspiring and Motivating Facilitator Award by her institution for winning many prizes at ward zonal levels and representing schools at state levels for maths teaching aid at science exhibition competition. Welcome, Ms. Archana Kumar on our show. Ms. Archana Kumar, you have heard what Dr. Sundari Gandhi as well as what Professor Dr. Jolie Jose have mentioned. And both have given their views very clearly, although there is still a question, and the question is about the competency of the teachers. Now, you being not only a teacher, but also a national level badminton player, definitely we would like to know your views on are teachers competent in India. Ms. Archana Kumar, please.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, my fellow speakers and my dear viewers. First and foremost, let me thank you, Goel ji, for giving me this opportunity to utilize this platform to express my views. My fellow speakers, Dr. Sundari and Dr. Jolie, have spoken much about the skillful teaching, the teaching methodology, and variety of teachers, what are there. So let me adopt a different measure, as you have pointed out, that why, when on one end, when Delhi government schools have surpassed private schools, then definitely something is lying somewhere which is to be worked upon. So let me begin. How do we measure the competency of a teacher? Basically, the yardstick is the quality of imparting education, and secondly is the progress of a child. So when we talk about the quality of education, we cannot miss certain very, very important and crucial aspects. Or most importantly, they are the educational budget, the infrastructure, vacant posts, political interferences, the lucrative jobs, commercialization of education, lack of freedom in education, and as you said, it is a World Press Day, so media, of course. Now, if we see the educational budget, from 2.8% of GDP in 2014, it has just made a marginal increase to 3.1% of GDP in 2019 and 20, as against 6% recommended by national policy since 1968. Not just that, you will also see that there is a declination in diverting funds. That is only 0.5% of GDP is diverted, as against proposed 2% of GDP towards research and development, resulting in a shaky economy. Let us talk about the rural India. Now we are very blessed that we are very well established and we are very much teaching and we have a scope to teach. Now let us explore the rural India, which is almost 68% of India. Now when we go there, the infrastructure, how is it? The school just comprises of 2 classrooms, 2 rooms, not just say classrooms. Why? Because in the daytime it is a school, but in the nighttime it's a cowshed. So how do children study, or say how a teacher imparts education in such an infrastructure? She has nothing to teach. In the policy making, government has forgotten that in order to lure children to education, to promote literacy, it is not taking the school to the masses. It is the masses to be promoted to, or luring them or attracting them to come to schools. So what has happened? There are way too many schools which are opened than it should have been. And as a result, the quality of education is compromised. Now, when we have teachers, let us talk about the vacant posts. Now, the statistics says, interestingly, that approximately out of 10 lakh government schools, there are 61.8 lakh sanctioned posts, and out of which only 10.6 lakh posts are vacant. So if you see statistically, it is 17% is lying vacant, and it also says that 15% are having ad hoc teachers. Now tell me, which are very poorly paid. It is not just the scenario of government schools and also low budget schools. If you see, what would be going on in the mind of a teacher who is recruited for merely 2,000, 3,000 rupees? Would she be focusing on or spreading wings or spreading her imagination, or will she be wholeheartedly a mentor? Will she be doing justification? Now, when I try to save on the fund, the school will only think that why not manage a teacher? Why not manage a teacher? Now, when we are managing a teacher, we would compromise on so many skills. Maybe the person is not well qualified too, not having basic qualification too, because it's just matter of managing for 6 months. But what happens to the education? The education received by a child is damaging. So we are playing with the basic foundation of education, that is from pre-primary educational sector, right, going till the university level. Now, if you see about political interference, it is not just in schools where they are constantly interfering with the policy make education policies. And most of the policy are amended with the policies which favors the government. Now, if there is lack of freedom in academics, even to the higher institutions, lately we have seen that too many established, competent, and scholar professors have left, who had preferred to serve our country, but they have left India. Why? Because somewhere it was being politicized. They did not have freedom to voice their opinion. Same with its media. They never bring out the real picture. When we have one full page of advertisement of whatever launching or inauguration of government is going on whosoever expense, why not a single column in the newspaper is daily put up focusing on progress, focusing on the opinions, inviting steps, inviting or showcasing measures by that particular state, by our country? Why not a section is mandatorily be engaged in displaying facts or sharing facts or inviting opinions about education? Why not? We don't have as such. They have projected teaching as a very noble profession where people can't talk, they can't ask. It is not a lucrative job. Now, what happens because of this? Will I tell my child to become a teacher? Most of the teachers in this profession, it is not a single choice. The percentage who comes by choice is very, very low. Why? It's because it is not a lucrative job. A person, or say, like I stay in Mumbai, a person cannot live a proper basic lifestyle if the earning member is a teacher. With very minimal allowances which are given, it is not at all attractive. Now, let us get back to the topic. About the techniques, what we follow. It is very much curriculum oriented. Do the academician have the choice to explore things, to take her classroom outside the classroom, to explore various teaching methods? Is she given time, or is he given the liberty to adopt various measures what she or he thinks is convincing? No, they are born to follow certain methodologies, certain rules. So in today's age, it is good that we have ICT tools. We have national exchange programs. Teachers can be raising themselves by attending various conferences, webinars, and participating in various online courses. So first and foremost, I would like to make an appeal on this particular platform. One more thing, what Goel sir had highlighted was, why are the tutorials coming up? Why is a parallel system popping up? It is all about marketing. People see what the media brings. I remember when I was studying, there was nothing called tuitions. Nobody. On the contrary, we used to see a person who is a poor performer used to join tuitions. Then suddenly, how come it became a matter of prestige? How did the change of mindset take place? It doesn't happen with handful of competent teachers. Definitely, it has been supported by the system. Why marketing is being done to bring up those marketing? Now, if you see, maximum of the schools, instead of focusing their say target on nation building, on imparting quality education, from creative thinking, on promoting researches, it is just merely focusing on business, that is money making policy. How did you will see maximum of the owners are not at all from the educational background. It is very surprising, right? It is something to be taken a serious note of. Why? Who are these and why are they here and what are they doing? So there should also be a check, stringent check over the renewal of the license what they are given. So the marketing which is done, that has to be curbed. It has definitely come with the support of media. Now, when I watch a cricket match, I see Byju's, I don't have any offense again, say XYZ. Advertisement. Why? And we know the policy of, or say the psychology of being told something again and again. Dr. Sundari may be the expert to tell about how it works. So I do what I see. I do not see a single cinema showing a heroic educator. They are either from politics or a policeman or whatsoever. So in today's scenario, why so many children are able to crack IIT? Because you would see that the educators are very, very highly paid. It is so good that it would invite talents. So all the skillful teachers, they would love to come to this sector. They would come with love, they would come with passion, they would come with this intention that I'm here to mentor a child. Just because knowing and read and taught and trainings is not going to help. In order to bring out that inner me, I have to definitely be supported with the system. Why not arrange tiny ward level, zonal level, state level, national level? Why a single award of teacher? Why not lower level recognitions are given on a day-to-day basis? Why do we wait only for Teachers' Day? Why it is not repeated? I'm very sure it will definitely give a focus, a goal, a target, which is missing in the competent teachers. So when something good of that extent is done in Delhi, why not it be done in other states? So I would suggest and strongly recommend two things. One, to the media, that project the educators. Take time for creative content writing. There are so many educators doing wonderful job everywhere. Why are they not brought to the limelight? It is just not noble to be worshipped somewhere, lying somewhere in the corner, wearing chappals and sacrificing everything and donating whatsoever he or she had to help the needy. Why they are not brought to the limelight? Why it is offensive to cover a column every day on a daily basis on such educators, such nation builders? Everybody is a nation builder, whoever is contributing or investing in children. So the competency is not just within four walls, which is to be shown. It has to be shown all 24/7. And definitely she needs the support of the system, the policy making. So lastly, let me conclude that this country doesn't need slogans like Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan and Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. It needs the hand holding to these kind of men who feed us, to those men who protect us, and these people who are nation builders. You tag them as nation builders, but what is done to them? There is no revision of policy or no sufficient investments done, no review making, no policy making, no freedom. So where do we go? So it's very wrong merely to question the skillful teaching, the methodology, the mindset. It is all lying half held unless she gets a support to the system. We together can do wonders. Why is India not rated on the top, whereas China is grabbing the top seat? Because you would see all the other countries, say where we have UK, USA, Britain, Finland, Germany, everywhere, Singapore. Why? There the educators are in parallel with doctors.
You are muted, please. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm audible?
Yes, please. But now, yes, go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So why not our country? Because if I see the profession of education is in parallel with doctors, I would definitely send my child there. Good talents would be attracted. People having teaching as a passion would be coming to this stream and doing justification to this profession, not the compromised lot which is here just because they could not find a job. And also, stringent measures should be adopted to select teachers. As we see, the very sorry state that hardly 20% of teachers clear the entrance. And eventually it is on a dying state because there are not too many people. They are losing out with the professional talents, professional qualification, and it is dying down, which is wrong. Unless we don't have knowledgeable people coming into this, it is not going to comprehend, not going to complement. So, last but not the least, let us give wings to these children via competent teachers by support of the system, preferably the government and the media. Thanks a lot, Gurji.
Thank you very much, Mr. Archana Kumar. And now, after listening to you or to Ms. Archana Kumar, I can say that my keeping this topic is worth, because the views which Ms. Archana Kumar has put is full of agony, pain, but the reality, the truth. And that is what is required. Although she blamed the media, which is, she's 100% right, that no media, very few, I will say, yes, there are very few media people wants to spend time on the education, condition of education, but just see their TRP. Nobody would like to watch these types of shows. Everyone is interested the tutu meme shows nowadays. When this is the culture which we are developing, and without, as Professor Jolly mentioned about the Delhi government or schools, without the support of government, either through the media or to the teaching profession, it is not possible to say or comment even about the competence. But what Ms. Archana Kumar rightly said, she has given all the statistics, how many how many teaching staff, shortage of teaching staff is there, how much is required, what is the condition, the qualification, ad hoc system, the salary, how much meager salary they are giving, and nobody is bothered. And she has also mentioned about the GDP percentage, that only 3.1% of the GDP, which was declared in this budget also of 21-22, while the promised in the new education or national education policy 2020 about 6%. So when this is the condition, and the least about the research, and we know how much research are being taking place and how much it is taking giving the importance the worldwide area. So thank you very much, Ms. Archana Kumar, for giving your views. Very I must say very strong but hard-hitting views. Thank you very much. Now I would like to say, because one of my viewer, he has sent one message to all of you. He is Mr. Dulichand Karil, the national president of Bharatiya Sarkar Sangh. He says subjects of education is still in not accordance of the prosperity of country, and every subject should be renewed continuously by the renowned experts by training to teachers in interval for further betterment. Thank you, Mr. Dulichand Karel, for giving your views. Now my question goes to Dr. Sundari. Dr. Sundari, we just heard about the coaching class. My question to you is, are coaching institutes teachers are only competent teachers in India, and the teachers in private or public schools or the government schools are not competent? See, the entire city is developed by the coaching classes, and everyone is supporting, and no one is thinking that this is going to be very harmful in the long run. Because as our panelist, Dr. Jolly Jose, as well as Ms. Archana Kumar has also mentioned, what is going to happen, that it has become a prestige issue. My child, no, he is going to quota for medical or IIT and whatnot. So my question to you is, the competency is only for the coaching institute, or it is a wrong policy of the government of the day, of whosoever government, that they are promoting themselves for some money sake or corruption, whatnot. Dr. Sundari Gandhi, please.
Mr. Goel, that's a very interesting question. As an administrator, I had this hard task in the college to make sure that teachers from my college never went to teach in any coaching class. We were supposed to give an undertaking and on an affidavit saying that I'm not involved in any of the coaching classes. And still there would be teachers running. My point is, the question is not whether they are competent or we are competent. We definitely, I would fully say that a good teacher in an institute, in a college or a school or whatever it is definitely a fantastic, competent teacher. These coaching classes are mushrooming all over because it's a business. And I feel very sorry for the parents. I remember way back in 92, I was coming back from college. I used to travel by bus in a place called Bombay Central. There was this parent and a little kid. The kid was hardly 4 years old, standing there. The mother told me, "Ma'am, you're a teacher?" I said, "Yeah, I'm a lecturer. What do I do for you?" She said, "Can you take tuitions for my kid?" I said, "I'm sorry, your child doesn't need any coaching." So this has become a damn business. It's become like a weed. That weed has to be mine as well as, sorry, the decision makers, the government. They have to put a full stop. Even like the way, as Dr. Jolly said, if Kejriwal could do it, why can't the others do it all over India? Why? Why are these big whales waiting to completely consume and swallow up the smaller fries, which are the government colleges or schools or whatever it is? BCom students, I see them in college. 10 o'clock college gets over, all of them run to coaching classes. Then what teaching is happening? 7:15 to 10 teachers are there. After that, these run away. And many of the teachers also are involved in all kinds of teaching. So it's a kind of nexus, I tell you. It's not the question of competency. Somewhere we have indoctrinated, the word that Archana used, it is psychological indoctrination. We have indoctrinated into the minds of people. Coaching classes are the thing. If you go there, you'll get more percentage. Your teachers are not fit. Arey, you are the learner here. Whether the teacher is good or not is a different issue. As a learner, you should be open to, when you're in college, you are open, you read, you look at various sources, prepare yourself. Where do you run here and there on the pretext that you'll get more marks there? No. Competency, I would definitely vote for the regular teachers than, I'm sorry, whoever is involved in coaching classes, I would definitely vote for the teachers, our fraternity, not the coaching classes stuff.
Okay,
That
thank
is
you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Sundari Gandhi. Now my question goes to Professor Dr. Jolie Jose. Ms. Archana Kumar mentioned about Bijus. And we know that in China, where it all started, China banned. And in India, right now, the trend is, and it's so much heavy advertisement. And when you are seeing something, you are going to do it, as she also mentioned. Don't you think this is the future of our country is in danger? Because if the computer is going to teach you, if the computer is teaching you, what is going to happen, the environment which the child is getting in the schools, where the peer training is there, where the mentors are there, the teachers are there, she or he is going to play something there, only just to sit in front of the laptop and see. I'm not against Bijus or anyone. There are so many are coming now on this platform. Don't you think the government of India should take a strict action like Chinese government has taken? Because otherwise, the future is going to be bleak. And one more thing, why the Teachers Association are not taking a strong step and asking, or they also are in nexus, or they are also getting the money from these invaders or for these coaching classes. So they are also keeping mum. What you say about this, Professor Dr. Jolie Jose?
Yeah, every time I see Byju's advertisement, you get two teachers. You know, so one is equal to two, and it adds a question to me: what are they trying to communicate? Are these teachers, same the topic I come back? Are the teachers incompetent? And there is another, the so-called artificial teacher claims one is equal to two. And what is really happening? I'm personally, for somebody asked me, should I send the child? The child got selected to be by the Byju's. She's a very smart child. I said, personally, I say no, because the child can learn. That your child is good, intelligent, and smart enough, and you have good teachers. You can learn from that context and can be in a very high position, like. Whosoever the Indian people working in India or outside, they are not drawn into this, and they became good professionals and good human beings, not through that. I personally say no to it. Let the child learn in the natural context. And the child who was in a government school, because the teachers are teaching in the government school, they're compelled to send their school there. So she's doing very well. She's good in sports and good in art and all that, do that. And I'm of the opinion that I am completely against sending children to tuition, first of all, as Professor Sundri was telling. Personally, I say no need, because I learned without a tuition. My time was just that you must have learned without tuition. Tuition is meant for like shaming. Like, you don't know anything, okay, you don't focus in class, and finally you're sent and you learn like that. And the coaching centers has to be stopped. Personally, I would say that. And we do have competent teachers to do it. We can train our own students in the system. There are systems created in every educational context to support the poor students, the peer learning, and the special coachings and all that given by our own college context. It is already there. Everybody knows about it. And what about the technology over there? Technology is also important to incorporate in the technology driven area. Education system need to incorporate those technologies. Why can't that be incorporated in the educational? We already have an established or non-established learning system that has to be there than having something else is created and that business is being boosted. So that is my personal opinion.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Jolie Jose. Now my question goes to Ms. Archana Kumar. Why to blame coaching classes? They are doing a social service. You mentioned the teachers are not getting money. If they are not getting money, proper money, they require, after all, they are also having their family. Where from there? At least the coaching classes are giving them money. So they are going and teaching there. Their main interest is to show their results in the coaching class, not in the school, so that at least their house, they can live properly. Now, my question to you is, don't you think is the main reason is, one of the reason is the competency is also proportionate to the earning. The money, which was taboo at one time, no teacher used to take the money directly, and it was very bad. But now, to sustain her or himself in the society, you require money. So that's why these coaching classes are giving. Now, what do you say about this, Ms. Archana Kumar?
Yeah. So if we say first of all about coaching class, let us first question.
Please be brief.
Yeah.
Only 30 seconds.
Let us first question the existence. The moment we talk about coaching classes, you immediately create an opportunity, a window to the children who are thinking education is only taught in schools. So when we open a parallel system, there immediately my focus gets diverted. I already have an option. So first that has to be curbed. If there were no coaching classes, I would fully focus, full-heartedly intend to grasp whatever the teacher is giving. And I would explore all my imaginations and cater to it with the help of my teacher, who is there to take care of my interests, my intentions, to get the expertise over the subject or whatsoever. And also the coaching classes do not teach as many things as what a competent teacher can teach with her variety of knowledge, variety of hold over various fields. So I feel the opportunity itself, creating a parallel system, has to be stopped. That's all.
Okay. Thank you very much. So viewers you have heard and viewed the expert views. And whose responsibility is this? Are we competent ourselves to ask this question, that the teachers are competent in India? My answer is no, we are not competent. Because how come we can ask this question? What we have given to the teachers, the same teachers, if they would have not imparted the knowledge to me, I would have not been sitting in front of you and talking like this. The same vaccine which has been found in India, which has been becoming a sensation everywhere. We are saying proudly that India is manufacturing #1 in COVID vaccine. Those scientists were taught by these same teachers. We can forget about their sacrifices, and what we are giving as a civil society, no respect, nothing. We have seen in the COVID time, when everybody was getting help as a COVID warrior and everything. What the teacher, can you expect a teacher of your own to ask money from you to see that he or she will get the ration for her house? No. So it is the responsibility of the civil society to give full respect to the teachers. And the competency, there is no dearth of competency. You provide the infrastructure, you give the respect, and you will see the same teachers are more competent in the entire world. And we have seen the entire world today are ruled by our own students who have taught here only, and they are the MNC CEOs everywhere in the world. So thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarocar News, Bharat Post News, Karu News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And in our endeavor to bring to you everyday new topic of media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Tomorrow is a special day, because tomorrow we are going to celebrate one Indian festival called Pongala. The Pongala, the festival of women. And the panelists are Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS, One-Man Expert Commission on Labor, Government of India. Dr. Ramesh Elman Nambudri, he is the chairman of Bharat Sevak Samaj, BSS. He is the vice chairman of Chakkula Tukavu Charitable Trust, Chaktula Kavu, Kerala. And Dr. Indra, former professor of chemistry. She is also from Chaktula Kavu, Kerala. And this festival is going to take place on for a week in Kerala, but closing is on 19th. So tomorrow we are going to highlight, and our idea is in our media conference with Lal Goel to enlighten the people globally that India is a great country and we have so many festivals. We must enjoy and see to it that we must give our contribution to make our country nation building through our teachers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Sundari Gandhi. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Jolie Jose, and thank you very much, Ms. Archana Kumar, for giving and enlightening us about the condition. And I can very well say only one thing: we are not there to ask you the question. You are there to ask the question, that either we are competent to give you that respect or not. Thank you very much. And thank you all the viewers for watching our show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.